Hey gamers, I'm YoCuppaJoe, and you're watching my Wizard of Legend Quick Start Guide. If you're ready to learn how to overcome the Chaos Trials and become a true Wizard of Legend, then you're in the right place. During this video, I will cover the strategies necessary to get you deep into the dungeons. Let's start things off with spells, or Arcana, as they are called in Wizard of Legend. You get a dash and a basic Arcana, those are pretty self-explanatory. Then you've got your standard Arcana. This one propels a bunch of flaming dragon heads. Each Arcana can be enhanced once you are in the dungeon. Your signature spell will automatically be enhanced from the beginning of your run. Along with your spells, you get to choose one relic and one robe to start with. The default robes are just for show, but you can get enchanted gear from this NPC in exchange for gems. Gems are a currency which can be collected in the dungeons and spent in the courtyard for new starting kit options. I won't be detailing any specific builds in this video. Instead, I'll teach you about synergy to help you create your own builds. Let's take a look at the Dark Katana. It increases the critical hit rate of your melee Arcana, so all melee Arcana will have synergy with this item. Synergy can also happen between two Arcana. For example, an Arcana with high knockback followed up by a move with long range, or a spell with a long uptime used to cover the cooldown of a spell with a long downtime. If you have more to add on the topic of builds or synergy, please make your voice heard in the comments. The first rule of combat is don't get hit. One misstep could lead to critical damage if you are unfortunate enough to get caught up in a chain of attacks. Use ranged Arcana to safely create an opening before you dash in to land a few extra basic attacks. When starting an attack with a melee Arcana, you should try to use the Arcana's maximum range by hitting with the tip of your hitbox. Mastering this technique will make your moves more efficient, allowing your attacks to land slightly sooner, which can mean life or death in this game. You should prepare attack cycles to execute on your enemies when you find openings. For example, standard, basic, dash away. Or basic, signature, basic, dash away. Be sure to keep an eye on the enemies you are not attacking because they might try to hit you while you are distracted. By maintaining awareness of the other enemies on screen, you give yourself time to dash away before anyone can touch you. When you've managed to capture all enemies in the room with one attack, you can safely unleash all of your spells without fear of being backstabbed. Some spells can push or pull enemies. Use this effect to insta-kill the fools standing next to ledges. When your signature bar gets charged, you can unleash a much more potent version of your signature. As a bonus, your signature Arcana's cooldown will also be refreshed. Take advantage of this by making sure to use your signature when it's close to becoming charged. Now onto the vendors you will meet in the dungeons. Andres, the traveling merchant, sets up shop on every mini-boss floor. Buy his relics that help you heal or collect gold near the start of a run for maximum value, and drop those items near the end of a run to make room for more offensive or defensive items. Blade Runner, one of my Discord crew members, suggests taking a reviving relic like Pazu's favorite hat or the Scissors of Vitality, specifically for boss fights you are not feeling confident about. The Arcana Painter will also show up on every mini-boss floor to sell you new spells or enhanced versions of the spells you have equipped. I recommend taking an Arcana you believe has potential to be changed before or after one of your current spells. If you see this Red Hood guy, be wary of his 3 items. None of them cost any gold, but they all have one helpful effect along with one drawback. Cursed items which reduce your maximum health will not take any HP away from you if you are already below the new health total. This fine fellow will offer to trade a random one of your spells for a random one of his. His Arcana is guaranteed to be enhanced. This adventurer will give you some gold for any relic you drop before him. Savile is the wonderful weaver of robes and will enhance the power of your robe for a small gold and health fee. Dr. Song will take one random Arcana from you in exchange for a random form of healing. It's usually a terrible trade. And finally, Taffy. Oh, how I hate this piñata. Whenever you see this guy, your goal is to destroy him faster than he can wake up from getting dazed. If you succeed, he will give you a nice reward, and every time you fail, he mocks you for trying. The Sky Palace update added one more NPC who will take all of your gold in exchange for gems. Speaking of the Sky Palace update, the added content includes a new Sky Palace dungeon and boss, a bunch of new enemies, spells, relics, and robes, and now Nox the Cursed Relic Vendor will appear in the courtyard to offer run modifiers. There are 2 great quality of life changes that come with the update. The first is that whenever you find a shop before you found the mini-boss, a portal will appear which can take you back to the starting point. The second is that standing in front of an item or Arcana will now show a description. This is a huge change in design which trades some of the game's mystery for better consistency. And finally, the moment you've all been waiting for, how to take on the bosses in Wizard of Legend. It's quite simple actually. With every boss in the game, the first step to defeating them is learning their attacks and how to dodge them. Once you've got that down, all you have to do is punish the boss whenever they miss. With the 3 elemental bosses, you can only daze them after they have launched several attacks in a row and they stop to recover their magic. The number of attacks they execute before stopping increases the deeper into the dungeon you are, but they always start at 3. The elemental bosses can also perform their own signature move, throwing off their attack cycle and making it more difficult to find the opportunity to fight back. If you are having trouble with the mini bosses, then make sure you clear out the whole floor before taking on the boss. This will reduce the number of additional enemies that appear at the start of the mini boss fight. Master Sura is a beast, but he is the same as the other bosses in the game. If you can learn the attack patterns, then you'll be fine, but that can only happen with experience. I know, it's hard enough just to get a shot at Master Sura, much less learn his attack cycle. So I would like to dedicate an entire video to detailing the attacks and phases of this boss in order to help people get their first Wizard of Legend win. Before I do that, I have a challenge for you all. On my Splatoon 2 review, I got over 500 comments. I had a ton of fun reading what you guys had to say and would like to do that again. So I am challenging you all to help me get 200 more comments on this video. When we reach our goal, I'll create the Master Sura boss guide. To make it happen faster for you all, I will count the comments from both this video and my Wizard of Legend review video. So after commenting here, you should go check out the review. In your comment, you can ask me any Wizard of Legend questions you would like answered in the next video. I will also share any good tips that you leave in the comments. If you learned anything here, please consider liking and sharing the video within your community. Thanks for watching, Wizards! See ya!